This is Assassin's Creed Origins. We're here on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. This was the game that kicked off the whole massive open world RPG take on the Assassin's Creed franchise, and one that took us to ancient Egypt, which was kind of exciting if you're a fan of Egypt like I am. This was really cool, and it's great to dive in and take a look at this on the PlayStation 5 Pro and go over what this experience has to offer from a gameplay perspective. So this is one of those games that got a kind of like next-gen update, or well, next-gen aware update. So basically it is, running a bit better. It's taking the Pro settings that we got from the previous Pro and sort of just bumping those up a little bit further. But the results are still, rather excellent in terms of just looking a lot better. It's still not what we could have potentially had they actually went and did like a full, I guess you would say, like version of the game for this particular platform. So it is still limiting for what the PS5 Pro could potentially do. But, the results here are still something that looks and plays really great, especially if you are a fan of Assassin's Creed and Origins, which is a lot of fun. Particularly for me, because like I said, I love Egypt, and seeing Egypt come alive in this game was really quite special gameplay-wise, and I still think this is a very beautiful game, an expansive game. Absolutely massive map. I'm glad I got my save working for this one, or a save that I had here working. When I was doing Odyssey, I found my save after I did my video. It was somehow hidden in the settings. I don't know, it was weird. This one I had to do a whole cloud thing to get. Anyways, saves between the PlayStation 5 and the Pro, absolute nightmare. What are we getting here? It's 1620p. So it would be kind of dynamic, but it's just 1620p. There's enough overhead. It's clean, it's smooth in that regard. 60 FPS HDR. And yeah, the results here are really quite splendid. The game looks fantastic. It looks great. Still a little bit limiting just in terms of comparing it to something like where I spent most of my time playing this one, which is on the Series X, since that actually has the full 4K. And I do think the PS5 Pro more than enough could have that kind of a thing. Maybe someday we'll see remasterings for some of these Creeds, because they look great, but they could look a little bit better. I definitely see where there is room for visual improvement. Oh, we killed all these guys. That's disappointing. What am I tracking here? What am I tracking? The Lizard Brothers? I don't want to track this. Is there another kind of keep area? Kill the captain. No, there's one over here. No, we already did that. Let's go ahead over here and do this one. So this game, as I kind of mentioned, really took Creed to new levels of just scale. This game is ridiculously large, ridiculously expansive. You could still do some assassination stuff like you used to be able to do back in the day, but they definitely moved on from that just being the course and it being more about, leveling up your stuff, getting better armor, getting better gear. It's actually one of the template, I would say, Ubisoft games for the designs they use today, where a lot of their stuff is based on, kind of grinding out gear, role-playing, stuff like that, mechanics where you're leveling and that, and it is kind of neat to, go back and revisit these Creed games and just kind of see how history kind of changed a lot. Coming off of the heels of, I think, Syndicate before this, it's also kind of amazing because this sense of difference between the two, Syndicate, very much a traditional Creed, right? And then you play this, and they've gone in the direction of something that is completely different. It probably felt pretty, revolutionary at the time. I was like, oh wow, they've, completely changed how we experience and interact with Assassin's Creed, which, either you're totally for or you didn't like, and you know, different people with different opinions in that regard. But like the difference here, just in terms of scale and what they were doing, it was quite a big technical bump up for Assassin's Creed. I do really think they should be applauded for their efforts of really doing something new and refreshing for the series. And, you know, like I said, visiting Egypt and that was fantastic. It is feeling like they are coasting off of this new gameplay mechanic, and until something more revolutionary comes up down the road, I would imagine this is very likely going to be how we experience Creed for many, many years to come. Yeah, like I said, until some kind of other revolution comes, but it seems like they're pretty set on large scale and then some smaller scale stuff. But yeah, the level of detail here is fantastic. Great character performances, an expansive wealth of locales and places to visit and things to see, which I quite liked. And yeah, it's great. It really is. Like, it's a beautiful game, like a very lively world that you get to visit, and it looks clean and it looks expansive. It's actually kind of funny because I was basically working partially to review on this one on PlayStation, because I was supposed to get like an Xbox code or whatever back in the day when this, you know, had of launch, but they didn't have any Xbox codes, so they offered me like PlayStation codes instead. And that's kind of how I was initially experiencing this work-wise, was to take a look at this version of the game. So kind of neat from a long-term kind of perspective of how things have changed, for sure. And this one just kind of follows our lead character here, but there is a lot of really expansive narrative here, and a lot of DLC stuff. Still, did you just jump in? Still not at the scale that we saw with like the ones after this one. It's funny because this is almost like tame and simplistic compared to what we got after this with Odyssey and with Valhalla, and then I'm assuming Shadows will go larger as well. They just kind of continue to spiral into these massive, ridiculously expansive experiences. And it is fascinating, because like, if you're the type of person that's into this type of Creed, it's the most Creed you've ever created. Not this one actually is finishable. Like, this one was large, but like actually doable, and if that makes a level of sense. Like, it's something that you actually can play and be like, oh, okay, you know, I can work through this. And then those other ones you just play and you're like, wow, this is, well, that's beautiful. You kind of play and you go, wow, this never ends, and, you know, experience just kind of goes on and on and on, and, you know, that's a big part of this, is, can I not fast travel there? Fast travel not available. Fast travel not available. It's because I'm in a dangerous area. Might be because I'm in a dangerous area. And that's a big part of this, is the fact that, like, this one, I think, is large scale and expansive and exciting, but it's also very finishable. And then you get some really cool extra, like, there's extra, like, DLC content in this one, like, some new, like, the expansions for this were really well, you know, set up, and they give you a lot more. It's not at the ridiculous scale that was present for the Creed afterwards, you know, the Creeds to come, but I think they do a good job with this one. I really like this game. I think it's very, very good. I mean, all the Creed games, honestly, are pretty great, all in their own ways, and it really comes down to whether or not you, like, embrace the bloat of it, I guess, is the big thing, the bloat of it all. Whereas, you know, some players, it's just, like, too much, and all the animals and stuff, too. They did a lot with this. And that would save me some time. Fast travel not available? Did I not synchronize the point, or is it... Whatever, I'll go with my trusty camel. It's more about the adventure of getting to places anyways, am I right? This was something with Creed 2, is like, the sense of scale is fantastic, but you really can kind of get the feeling that like a lot of it's just sort of empty open road landmass. Like it's all varied and there's plants and like the fauna levels are really good and you can sail around a little bit on these little boats, which is cool. I know people expect more like crazier boat action, so this one doesn't quite fully hit that. And dangerous animals and everything, and yeah, no, there's quite a lot to this, but yeah, a lot of it is just kind of like really empty land where you're going from like deserts to go to other places. I kind of almost miss the I always miss the older Creeds where it was like more verticality and scale and stuff. I think this is why I appreciated Mirage so much, despite some shortcomings on that one, narrative-wise and stuff. It's very cool to be back in an actual city, not having to grind like levels and stuff. Brought me back to a simpler time. Are you kidding me? You gotta assassinate a little faster there, my friend. I do really like the lead in this game, though. I think he's a very interesting character. Oh, I kind of thought that I was, you know, in like a good kind of spot to assassinate that dude. I thought he would be looking at his buddy, and I didn't realize he would just like instantly notice me. That's a little sad. Oh, assist rebels. Yeah, this game also too like a bit of opportunities to use environmental things as well. Can make a big difference. How am I out of ammo when there's literally like endless amounts of bows and arrows right beside me, which is funny. Does that count as me killing the leader guy if like I assist in killing? You're welcome, Rebel. These little small events going on in the world. So does that count as killing this guy? Oh, there's other leaders and stuff over here. Oh, okay. We're not even in like the area, I guess, eh? Alright, Bird, what can you see? Lots of loot and things. This is where it's like, as I said, if you're huge on the Creed and the style of gameplay of these RPG Creeds, you can just like endlessly waste hours playing this. It is a little ridiculously big. What is that over there? Ancient steps? There's all these things to do. It's like the environment is just littered with never-ending amount of things for you to accomplish and interact with. Yeah, I think that was the leader, and I don't think it counts as a kill for me. Because I didn't really kill him, right? Technically, the other guy did. I mean, I sort of killed him, but I didn't, like, really kill him. Which is the biggest shame. I also love that you can, like, parkour easily through these environments. I don't know, I thought this was a really cool Creed at the time. I was kind of genuinely impressed by this. Can I break through that at all? I wonder if I could, like, pick this up and kind of burn through the ceiling. Oh, that didn't work out how I wanted it to. I'd like to be good. Do you say I'd like to be good? Okay, well that didn't go according to plan at all. Okay, this is, I mean, I'm burning myself more than anything. Okay. This is... I mean, the idea was there, right? Like, yeah, I'm on fire. The idea was there. It all loads better, which is nice on the PS5 Pro. It does visually look a little bit better, but... yeah, a little diminishing returns on that. That's what I was saying, is like getting like a proper like remastering or like native version of this would actually kinda make a big difference just in terms of like visual fidelity and gameplay, and because obviously we're not getting like the full potential of this experience, and that's a bit of a shame because it's like it could be a very, very good looking game. Honestly, I still think it is, but yeah, definitely not fully taking advantage of the hardware, which is a bit of a shame. These Creed games are fantastic too. Just as being like really, after all their updates, after all their releases, being quite polished, right? Although I think the bugs and that are a little bit of the fun of this too. Do I have I wonder, do I have like my kick thing or something like that? Ugh. I lost all my health jumping down. That's a bit of a shame. I don't know, for me it was cool seeing like all the hieroglyphics and stuff like that. Is very fascinating, because as I said, big fan of Egypt, ancient Egypt and stuff. So to see that kind of come alive here was pretty exciting. You saw nothing. I am stealth. That's why they called me the best assassin there ever was. My creed is glorious. Are you serious? I thought I could get like a quick little shot off on that guy. Nope, not allowed. So did that other guy respawn, or... Still trying to find out where that other dude is. Regardless, hopefully this is showcasing... Oh wow, that's brutal. Hopefully this is showcasing you the magic of Assassin's Creed Origins. I think it's a pretty great game. It's certainly... To me, it's still worth diving into and enjoying if you've never played it. It really is quite a miraculous setup and style. Like, it really did change things up quite a bit, especially from the older creeds that we were so used to at this time. Like, it really did revolutionize things, and I think a lot of people were looking forward to this kind of a change up for this franchise. Even if they didn't know it, like, we had so many creeds, so many years, and yeah, it was nice. It was refreshing at the time, which is hilarious because now I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, you know, it's kind of like the same sort of thing over and over again. But back with Origins, it was the origins of excitement, and this also started the modern day kind of plot thing that I think kind of wrapped up with was it Valhalla or something like that, or Mirage? I don't know. Never really cared much about the explorer woman, whatever she was doing, and yeah, I don't know. There's a certain point where Creed just kind of went off the rails for modern, or like future stuff, which would be modern now, I guess, timeline-wise, and yeah, I don't know how they ever fix that. Like, the fun of the Creeds 2 is actually, like, being in the historical locations as opposed to being in a present time, and they could have made that exciting. They just never really were able to do so, which is a shame because there is something there in regards to the, you know, modern setting. It's just they don't they're just kind of incapable of making that work, I guess, really is the thing, right? I like to think that they never actually really tried either. It does feel like that often, that they never really tried to get the futuristic modern setting actually working. Ah, that guy's really not at all fazed by fire. My fist will pound you? Alright. Regardless, it's looking clean on the Pro. It's a good jump if you want to play it for the first time or revisit it. It really depends on how into it you are. Whoa! Whoa! That was a slam dunk on me, holy.